Hey y'all, meteorologist Cindy Goldberg here from the First Alert Desk, and it's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, and it's another really nice morning start. Here's a live look outside in our Sky 9 camera. This is overlooking the Children's Hospital, clear blue skies. You can even see, if you look closely, some little birds flying through the sky on this Wednesday. We had a cold front move through yesterday, so that's making for the clearing conditions. But actually this morning, we started off with some cloud cover. You can see it on the visible satellite. It's starting to make its way down towards the south, but because we still had some clouds this morning, it prevented us from getting as cool as we thought. So we actually started in the low 60s this morning, 60 degrees at the Baton Rouge Metro Airport, but our friends up to the north in southern Mississippi and Macomb got into the mid 50s at 55, as well as in Bogalusa. But in Gonzales, we started out into the upper 60s, so it wasn't quite as chilly as it has been the past couple of days. We are starting to warm up though, now into the low to mid 70s for many places, but in Macomb, still into the 60s, 68 degrees there. Here we're 73, 74 in Gonzales, and a bit warmer for our friends in New Orleans at 76. So yes, it will be another warm day today, but we're not talking upper 80s like yesterday. We should warm to the low 80s today. We'll keep the clear skies, lots of sunshine through the afternoon, and then cool nicely once again once the sun sets. So we'll get down into the 60s, and then I do think we'll get back into the 50s, start overnight into tomorrow morning. As for rain chances, none today, none tomorrow, none Friday. So we're good to go for the rest of the work week. Then the pattern changes once we get into the weekend, and it does look like widespread rain both Saturday and Sunday with the next weather system, and then some isolated chances to start off the beginning of next week. Here's why. In the water vapor, you can see this giant counterclockwise swirl that's making its way into the west coast. Kind of looks like a cinnamon roll how big it is. This is an upper level low pressure. This is going to drive another weather system down across the southeast. So right now we're getting the clearing conditions. We have high pressure in northern Louisiana. That's what's helping to push all that cloud cover down offshore. Nice conditions today and through the rest of the work week. But you'll notice the winds will start to shift a bit coming out of the south, so we'll start to get a little bit more moisture as we head into the weekend and our next weather system starts to approach. With that, of course, we're watching for showers and storms approaching. So here's Saturday morning. We look okay for Saturday morning in terms of timing with the models. As we get closer and closer, we'll get our more high resolution models and be able to pinpoint exactly the timing. Right now, it does look like we're okay for Saturday morning. Then we'll start to see scattered showers and storms through the afternoon on Saturday. So here's 4 p.m. That's the start of the Southern home game on Saturday. And then that continues right on through the evening as well. 6:30, just watching for on and off showers and storms. And then the system will continue to push eastward. So it does look like by Sunday morning, we'll get another round of scattered showers and storms. More widespread, it looks like, arriving by Sunday. So we'll have to continue to pinpoint that timing there. And with that, a lot of rainfall is expected. So this is the Weather Prediction Center rainfall amounts through the next 7 days. But of course, a lot of it looks to fall through the weekend with that next weather system. So high rainfall totals, it does look like anywhere from 3 to 4 inches, even more than that possible, all the way from Kansas, Missouri, through portions of eastern Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and of course here in Louisiana. So if we zoom in here locally, in terms of rain amounts, on average, through the next week, so of course with most of it falling in the bulk through the weekend, it does look like we get anywhere from 2 to 3 inches, and more of that closer to Lake Charles, so western and northern Louisiana. Now this isn't a big issue quite yet. Now yes, locally street flooding could be an issue if we do see a lot of rain at a short amount of time, but we have a lot of dry ground right now, so we certainly do need the rain here in South Louisiana. All right, let's talk football. We have 2 home games here on Saturday. Of course, bad timing, right? So Southern Jags are playing Florida A&M on Saturday. That's set to kick off at 4 p.m. through the afternoon. We're going to have to watch for on and off showers and storms throughout the afternoon as well. So make sure you have the rain gear, and we'll be able to pinpoint that timing better as we get closer. Same story for Tiger Stadium. A&M, LSU, that's set to kick off at 6:30 in the evening. Temperature-wise, it'll be cooler into the low 70s and then cooling into the upper 60s. But again, we're dealing with on and off showers and storms throughout the game as well. So we'll have to continue to keep an eye on that and monitor the timing and whether or not that's going to impact the game. The good news is, before we get to the weekend, before we get to the wet weather, we do have some nice mornings ahead. So I think tomorrow morning we'll wake up into the low 50s, so you'll certainly feel the difference tomorrow than today. Today was in the 60s, yesterday was in the 60s, so we'll get back that nice fall chill feeling tomorrow. Same with Friday, a bit warmer into the mid-50s, but still a cool morning start. Then we're back to the 60s by the weekend with that approaching weather system. Same with the first part of next week, so Monday and Tuesday in the low 60s, but then the 50s come back by Wednesday, and that's because it looks like we're tracking another cold front. All right, we're still talking tropics. Yes, it's October, but we still have tropical systems to track. This is Tropical Storm Melissa in the Caribbean. And with Melissa, it doesn't look like it's going to move all that much, essentially just meandering in the Caribbean, which is not good because, one, if it doesn't move, it brings a flooding risk to parts of the Caribbean islands. And it does look like Melissa is going to become our next hurricane. The reason for that is, well, it's just because it's going to just meander in the Caribbean. It's also underneath warmer than normal sea surface temperatures for this time of year. So it's got a lot of good environmental conditions to work with to strengthen. So as of this morning, earlier about an hour ago, 10 a.m., winds are sustained at 50 miles an hour. And we do have hurricane watches in place for parts of Haiti. We also have tropical storm watches in place for Jamaica. Now, if you look at the cone, it is not much of a cone, and that's because it's really just going to squiggle in one little spot. It's not going to move all that much. So if you look, this says Monday at 7 a.m. It's really not moving all that far. And this is Monday next week when it does look like it'll intensify. Right now, the National Hurricane Center has it at a Category 3 hurricane. I've even seen some model runs at intensity going even higher than that. So it does look like this will become our next major hurricane for the season, and it is into October. Okay, back here at home though, we have some nice quiet days ahead, especially tomorrow morning. I think you'll really like that. Into the low 50s. You can bring the jacket back out tomorrow morning. The afternoons, not so bad. They are warmer than normal for this time of year, but low 80s will certainly feel nice. We'll take that for the rest of the work week. Then the pattern changes once we get into the weekend. So watching for widespread scattered showers and storms both Saturday and Sunday with that next weather system. Of course, as we get closer and closer, we'll be able to pinpoint exactly that timing for Saturday. I know we have a lot of events going on through the weekend, and then it looks like we may get another cool down arriving by next week. So we'll just have to watch for some isolated showers and storms lingering for Monday and Tuesday. Jeff Moore will have more details, of course, as we approach the weekend, and as we get new model runs, we'll have updates on that timing for the weekend. So we'll have more for you over on the noon show right here on WAFB.
Southern Air of Baton Rouge says no, 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 no interest, no money down.